Well, today I want to talk about being great when it comes to generosity. But first, I want to just celebrate something. Our videographer, Randy Flick, had a baby. And so today, my son Micah is being the videographer.
Hi.
So give a shout out to Randy in the comments. And he does such an amazing job. We celebrate the birth of Malcolm with you today into your family. So as we talk about generosity today, I want to take a detour first through emotions. I took an emotions class in college. It was like a intersection between philosophy department and the psychology department. We spent an entire semester studying emotions and what is an emotion. For example, just trying to describe what an emotion is a pretty significant challenge. And the professor of that class, he had a great name. He was Rob Roberts. Or Bob Roberts. Had the same first name and last name. And he had written a book about emotions that we read, and he suggested some other books about emotions. And one of the books that we read was called Descartes' Error, and it was by a guy named Antonio Damasio. And Damasio argued that emotions are entirely biologically based. It's caused by biology, it's caused by your genetics, it's based in your body, an emotion. Bob Roberts had a different definition of an emotion. For Bob, or Dr. Roberts as we called him, an emotion was a concern-based construal. And he had written a book about this. That book was called Emotions, an Essay in Aid of Moral Psychology. Doesn't that make you want to read his book? What I learned was that trying to describe emotions is so complicated. And it's hard to describe anything when it comes to human experience without some reference to nature, that is our genetics, and nurture, that is our environment. Now, back to generosity. Our nature and our nurture both work against us when it comes to being generous. Nature plus nurture equals a strong drive not to be generous to others. We want to be generous with others, but our nature, that is our instinct for self-preservation, keeps us from sharing our resources, and our nurture, that is our environment, the sort of materialistic, capitalistic society and culture that we live in, tells us to keep it all for ourselves. I think in my own life, an example is when I'm out at the grocery store shopping for the tiny pantry, that is the pantry outside of our church that people come and you can leave a little or take a little or leave a lot and take a lot. And when I'm buying something for that, I will have been spending like $200 on groceries for our family, but then I fret over spending just like 10 or 15 bucks on an item for the tiny pantry. So here's a question for you to talk about. Put your answer in the comments or turn to somebody next to you and answer this question. Where are you most likely to be generous with your financial resources, spending money on someone else? Take a minute and let's talk about that.